Great to see you. Hello there and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jedel Cabrera. It is always a pleasure that you take some time and join us for this conversations that we hope will help this country when it comes to politics and policy. I'm here with Herman Manyora. Great to see you. How are you doing today?
Wonderful.
Kisii was in a standstill on Friday.
Yes.
Dr. Fred Matiangi showing the region that they have a man who can take on Ruto come next year's election. Great to see you. How have you been?
Oh, great.
What do you make about Fred Matiangi's move, consolidating Kisii? Leaders from Kisii were there. It seemed the crowd was actually there too. This move from Fred Matiangi, how would you describe his homecoming and how does it suit the Kisii region and Matiangi for presidency?
I think the people of Gusiland have accepted their son. And they want to put their bull in the race, in the fight. And this is the bull they have chosen to join other bulls in Malinya Stadium for the bullfight. So they have embraced him.
Yeah.
I understand it was just supposed to be greeting people on the road, a bit of it in town, but it became too big. It had to be taken to the stadium. That's a good sign that the people have confidence in their son.
What do you make about Fred Matiangi as, let's start with the Kisii leader. What do you make about him? Because there's David Maraga actually, who Kenyans have also fronted, and you know, there are other leaders like Onyonka there, who Kenyans actually can see that this is actually a man that can lead the country. What do you make about Matiangi being the one to stand for?
You know, there are always rivers, and there are rivers. There are big rivers, there are tributaries, there are what. So Matiangi is the big river now. All the other small rivers must feed there. He has completely obliterated the rest. I expect in the coming days, not long from now, I expect Maraga to yield. I expect Maraga to say, well, my younger brother has a better chance than myself. I don't want to spoil for the community. If the community is taking a bull into the fight, obviously that bull is Matiangi, and therefore I pull out. That's what I expect very soon. Otherwise, she will end up being extremely embarrassed.
Do you think
He has a big name, not national. He's a big name that goes beyond our borders. He should not allow it to be dragged into mud, you know. Yeah, so.
Do you think the Gusiland or the Kisii region has completely left the leadership of Raila Odinga? They have been supporting Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga had his way, ODM has had its way in Kisii. But do you think now it is Matiangi?
Everything else in Gusiland is history. If it's not about Matiangi, forget about it. Today, if you want to reach the Abagusi, you'll have to do it through Matiangi. It happens, you know, it's just like that. Huru was nothing in 202, not so much of something. But the moment the late Michuki said, Muigai Kenyatta, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, if you want to reach the Kikuyu people, you have to do it through Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And that happened. William Ruto fought and he took over the Kalenjin leadership from Moi. Gideon Moi could only watch from, what is that? And Ruto took it. So the same has happened to Matiangi. Matiangi has taken over the
Kisii.
The Abagusi leadership. The Abagusi people have embraced him. And anybody else trying to talk will just be a joker.
What makes someone become that popular? I wanted to interrupt you when you were talking about Gideon Moi and William Ruto. What did Moi do wrong? And how did Ruto take over the Kalenjin region?
No, I'm not saying that Moi would have done anything wrong. It's just that that's how politics works. It's just that Ruto was aggressive. He was ambitious. He had been scheming from the time he was young. If you look at Ruto's life, there was a trajectory he was following. His eyes were on big things. He knew one day he wanted to be in State House. And he set himself to work on it. Yeah, and it happened. He's in State House.
Coming back to Matiangi.
So it needed somebody very strong, and I don't think Gideon was that person.
Yeah. Coming back to Matiangi, what is that it thing with Matiangi? I believe in Raila talked about it, that Uhuru wanted to support Matiangi and then changed to Raila Odinga. What is that thing about Matiangi that even Uhuru was ready to support him for presidency in 2022?
I think Matiangi is a doer. Matiangi is a worker. Matiangi is a person you give a job and the job will be done. He also comes out as a person who doesn't take nonsense. A person who can face a task with a singleness of purpose to achieve it. Such a go-getter, such achievers are rare. There are not many in the world. And therefore to spot one when they sprout is very easy. So I think they saw Matiangi as that one person who, if they want to do something, they will do it, irrespective of the obstacles. And when Uhuru made him the super CS, you saw the way he went about his job. When he was in education, you saw the way he went about his job. When he was in interior. So that kind of person, those kind of people like Matiangi are rare. They are not very many. And very easy to see them when they come out.
How does someone like Matiangi now, who is a technocrat, get into politics? Do you have faith that he can actually play the politics that comes when you get in the ring? There's
always the danger that when you are like Matiangi, you may be too much of an administrator, too much of a technocrat to handle the political terrain. Because you see, in government, it's not just about getting things done. No. It's not just saying we are where we are suffering because this thing at point A ought to move at point B. No. You try moving into point A to point B, then you realize you have to deal with the politics. So you have to clear the politics for you to pass the government. Before you deal with the politics, I was arguing with somebody, I can't remember who recently. He appeared to know a lot of things. But I told him, my friend, if you don't handle the politics, there's nothing else you'll handle. I'm trying to remember who it was, but it's a very serious guy I was talking to. After listening to him, I told him, I'm sorry, you are wrong.
There's a politics.
Oh, it was Ogola. I told him, Ogola, you are wrong. You need to handle the politics first. It's not the economics. No. The economics is subservient. It serves politics. Everything serves. I try to tell Harvey on some TV show and then JKL that you see you are a small person. LSK president, you are a small person. In fact, that name is too big. I try to tell him law is subservient to politics. It can't be the other way around. I think in the fullness of time he has come to say Manyora was right. Politics is at the top. Everything else flows from politics. You get the politics wrong, everything goes wrong. Moi said again, maisha mbaya, siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya. Siasa mzuri, maisha mzuri. So the danger with people like Matiangi, they may think you can just run government. You'll get so much sabotage if you don't handle the politics. You may not succeed in what you are doing. See, times have changed. So you need to operate within a democratic space. People oppose you in parliament. You are doing good things that there will be people in. So you must find a way of working with parliament. People will go to court. There's so much litigation in this country. Civil society and all that can upset us. That will be the challenge people like Matiangi will face. Because the moment you want to do good things and make sure you are moving the country forward, the cartels, people who have held the country captive, working through all these, the courts, through the civil society, they will try to frustrate you through parliament. But because in the past you just needed to do the right thing. You didn't care what everybody was saying. You just bulldozed.
I'd like to compare Matiangi with George Natembeya because this is the same fear people had with George Natembeya. He cannot play the politics. He will bulldoze people in Trans Nzoia. But what has attributed to Natembeya's success?
He quickly embraced politics, which he handled almost perfect. For him to do anything on the ground, you see, it's like war. If you fight in the air, you can never win a war. You only win a war when you put they say the boots on the ground.
Yes.
But the air cover is necessary to protect the artillery, the people on the ground, the tanks and all those guys on the ground with their tankers and everything.
Yeah.
The air, you bomb people to scare them and, and to demobilize some infrastructure. But the boots must go on the ground. So the Air Force is the politics.
And this is what
to give cover for the artillery guys to work down there.
This is what Natembeya has done.
That's what Natembeya has done. That's the challenge Matiangi would face if he became president.
Finally, what's your advice to Matiangi when it comes to coalitions and relationships with political leaders when it comes to trying to outdo Ruto in 2027? Because the fear is he might be damaged by this political class outlook. What is your advice for Matiangi?
Matiangi would need to work with the rest. And indeed they were together. They need to work with the rest. But again, I said I'm not going to do free work anymore. I need to be paid. So if he's akiniona kando as a consultant, I'll be able to tell him how you work with the rest. But at the same time, always edging to becoming the de facto leader. So that for Matiangi in the next 6 months, it will be clear to all and sundry, including his colleagues in the opposition, that he's the best candidate.
Can he actually show that he's not just the best candidate, but the transformative candidate?
Yes. That's showing you are transformative will mean the public is inclined more to you than the rest. And that's how I would come in. There are certain things you need to do. There are certain pronouncements you need to make for people to see you are different from this. While you are with them, but you are different. Because I know for a fact, there are certain topics these guys can't handle, can't touch. There are certain things they can't say. You find out how to say them without injuring them.
But appearing.
Yeah, so the work for Matiangi is simple. It's cut out for him. It's for you to emerge the undisputed flag bearer.
And transformative.
And transformative. It is that transformative agenda that pushes your candidature to a point where everybody will have to accept it is you. And that is a product of very serious engineering and thinking.
Akuone nyuma ya tent.
Anione nyuma ya tent.
So that you advise him.
I can advise him.
And
this time I'm open to advise political leaders from parliamentary all the way to governors, presidential.
And a Hillman Analytica.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning into this conversation. Matiangi, Daktari, C. Prof. Nyuma ya tent. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day.